Hello, welcome back to reality. Today we're going to talk about the fundamentals and basics of contouring. Now I know it's a topic that's quite scary and frightening, but we're going to break it down and make it really easy to understand and hopefully then easy for you to do on your own. Now I didn't contour to look like anybody else. I just contoured my own features. I might not look that different. I hopefully still look like myself, but just that my features are accentuated. That's my hope and desire. Is that my cheekbones look sharper and my nose looks defined and my lips look defined and my eyes look set and things of that sort. Yep. I had fun doing this video, so I hope you have fun watching it. Today's video is going to be chock full of history lessons, so prepare yourself. I'm going to start with a cream foundation is basically what it is. Whoa, my ears are all sticky outy. It's from my stage makeup kit, but you can find cream foundations wherever. I'm going to be using mostly cream products today to actually do like the contouring and stuff. You can do it with powder products, but they're just not going to stay if you're doing this for like a Halloween look or something. So I'm just going to put this all over my face, and especially with using cream products, you want to make sure your face is clean and moisturized. So I'm just putting this foundation color all over, and it's actually too pink for me. It's the right darkness or lightness, but it's too pink. So if it looks extra pink on the camera, that's why. But it's actually not bad, so that's cool. So contouring, much like most makeup things in general, started with the theater. Before the general public was wearing makeup, the theater, the actors and dancers were already wearing makeup. They were like already over it. And prostitutes. So that's often what associates, or it's one of the things that in history, not anymore, but in history that prostitutes and actors have in common. Woohoo! For the win! So this is going to put a pretty thick layer of foundation on, just because of the nature of the product. Which when you're on stage, you need to really be able to rely that your makeup's gonna do its job. So it started in the theater, and then got into the drag community as well. And so there's certain trends that are like cool now that are only in existence because of the drag community. So that's kind of funny. I think it's funny because they were for a very specific artistic purpose and now they're like trendy. I could use a regular, like my foundation brush for this, but I never have, so I just didn't. I'm gonna definitely put some on my eyes because we might be contouring a little bit in the eyes. So basically when it comes to contouring, it's like fundamentals of like art in terms of light and shadows. So if some of this is confusing to you, that's okay. You're fine. You don't need to know all the details. It just helps if you want to do something creative to know what's like going on in the thought process behind it. So lighting and shading, and like a lot of this is just like basic knowledge in relation to lighting and shading. So like if something is covering something else, there's going to be shade. Or if the light is hitting something directly, it's going to be brighter than another place where the light isn't hitting directly. And it's basically the same idea with our faces. So like, you know, in movies, or maybe you've done it yourself, like campfire scenes where someone puts a flashlight under their what is this? Chin. Pregnancy brain. Puts a flashlight under their chin. It uses the facial features to cast shadows on the face. So taking that idea, we're going to take all the places that are inverted in the face, and we're going to shade those, so darken those, and then all the places that protrude, like the nose, we're going to highlight those. And you can use them paired. So where you put shading, you put highlighting. And so that kind of helps that you're not just like, oh, where do I put all this stuff? Like, because it can get kind of confusing and everybody's face is a little bit different. And, this can be used to change your face shape as well. So I don't know if you remember, but last year I did an Aiden Turner, Keeley? Is he Keeley or Feely? Man, we know pregnancy brain is real when Amy can't remember the names of her favorite characters. A dwarf from The Hobbit. I used contouring, specifically like stage contouring, to change the shape of my face. I'm hoping later to do a Michael Jackson Halloween tutorial, and that will be pretty obvious, the ways that I change my face. So I'm going to put brown. Whoa! It didn't get anywhere. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. So I'm going to put brown in places that I want it to be more concave, and I'm going to put a light highlighter color. This is just a very light nude, in places where I want it to protrude. So these are both cool toned, but it's because I have cool toned skin, and you do not need a stage makeup kit to make this happen. You can use cream contouring, and powder contouring are both trendy enough now to where it won't be hard to find your shade at a price that's like good for you. So I'm going to be using my finger for some things and brushes for other things. I like to use my finger because I can feel exactly where I'm putting it, and I'm gonna go pretty extreme, but it's so that you can see fully the effect that this has. So I'm gonna start with my cheekbones. I'm gonna put brown just right there. And it always looks a little bit extreme at first, but it's because it's not blended out and it's not like diffused at all. So you guys have seen me do this before, but now I'm actually like explaining it, so I hope it's helpful. And now I'm just going to put this brown, I'm just going to continue to put this brown in places that I want it. Okay, so now that that is placed and I look like a crazy person, we have to blend it. Now you can blend in between highlighting and shading, which is this, and highlighting, which is gonna be the next application step. You can blend at the same time or in between. I'm going to, I think, blend right now. I'm going to use this. What is this? What is this called? Buffing brush? I think that's what it's called. And I'm gonna blend out the big areas. So blending this out, and basically this is just diffusing the product and the harsh lines so that it kind of just all blends together. And I don't know if you can tell, but this brown is still pretty red for me. I really need a cool toned, like a really cool toned brown for this, but it's okay for this purpose. And if you ever put too much on, you can go back in with whatever you use to apply foundation and kind of clean up those areas a little bit. That's what I'm doing anyway. Okay, so now we have those areas darkened that we want to, but we need to pair it with a highlighter, else it's going to look really weird. So I'm going to take my finger, because that's what I'm best at using, I think, and putting it in the corresponding places. Now, that might be confusing, but that's okay, just watch. So I put shading here, so that means I need to put a highlight wherever the opposite would be. So you guys are used to this, highlighting the cheeks, and you're used to that. See, I'm highlighting that because the hollow of my cheek is right below it. And because I highlighted my bottom lip, I want to highlight my top, or shaded my bottom lip, I want to highlight my top lip. Because I shaded under here, I want to highlight my chin, accentuate my butt chin. I have so many friends who will never let me forget that I have a butt chin. If any of you have noticed, please don't feel like you need to comment. Because I highlighted, oh my goodness, you guys, if you're following this, props. Because I shaded down here, I want to highlight the tip of my nose and the sides. And then the bridge, because I brought that contour all the way up. And then we're going to put some here. I'm going to highlight under my eyes too. Because we shaded around here, we want to highlight the middle of the forehead. Alright, and then let's blend it out. I'm going to actually use a beauty blender for this. A whole one. I don't even use a whole one normally. It's not damp. It's just plain old. And I'm going to blend these sections in. You want to know another trend that started in the drag/theater community? Baking. Now, I don't know if you guys all know what that is, but it's where you pack powder onto certain places because you don't want it to crease. And I'm going to do just that under my eyes. So we're kind of done with cream products for now. So I loaded my spongy up. And basically, you want to put a translucent powder anywhere in the highlighted areas. Really pack it on. Oops, I didn't blend my eyelids. Really pack it on where you don't want it to crease. So that's really a big deal. We're gonna put some highlighted shade right below the eyebrow. So packing translucent powder so that you look crazy. And we'll brush off the excess in a minute. So I'm going to continue to put powder in places that I want to set. While that powder is setting into the cream formulas, I'm going to, first I'm going to take powder just on my finger on here, on my eyelids, because we put a highlighter shade on there, and we don't want it to crease. No one wants that. Okay, so you use translucent powders on the high points so that you're setting those. And then what you can do is after you brush away this powder and kind of set the whole face with a light dusting of powder, you can set the contoured areas with matte, very important, matte bronzer or a powder contour. So a lot of bronzers can double as contours, but only if they don't have any shimmer. Now please hear me, because shimmer is meant to reflect light, and if you put it in the places that are meant to be shaded, it just like cancels itself out, and I just think it looks bad. So if you love doing that, there aren't rules, so go ahead and do whatever you want, but just know that that's like the science behind it. And it's important to know that that's how those products are intended to be used. So bronzer is meant to, originally, was meant to look, you're supposed to put it on the high points of the face so it looked like you were out in the sun, and the high points of the face are the places where you highlight. So it doesn't make sense to put a contour, to put that product in a contour spot, if that makes sense. Okay, now I'm going to take a fluffy brush and just kind of brush away whatever is just sitting on the skin, and I'm going to use the stuff that's falling off to dust the rest of the face. Great. And then, so I don't look so psycho, I'm going to put on some lipstick and mascara and blush so that I don't look so crazy. But this is what it looks like when features are contoured. So I hope that you can see that certain features are sticking out more than they were before. Hopefully you can tell that, because that's the whole point. Alright, here it is. I don't look so scary anymore. I hope that this was helpful and that you enjoyed it. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments below. Yes, I hope to be doing some Halloween looks that incorporate these principles so that you can see them in action. This lipstick is so comfortable. What is it? I think it's Clinique Black Honey something. It's old. It says almost lipstick, so it's like a tinted balm. But I like it. That's neat. Lucky for you. That's what I like. That's what I like. I hope that you were able to see certain implements of contouring that we apply to our daily lives, like you put a darker shade in the crease and you highlight on the cheekbones, certain things like that, that help this make more sense to you. I feel like my nose is looking very contoured, even though I don't feel like it does in person. I'm looking at my little screen. Thanks for joining me. Let me know what Halloween looks you want to see. Use hashtag RitzyHalloween on Instagram or the Facebooks. And subscribe when you want to be alerted to when my Halloween videos are coming, because I have them planned, I promise. And keep it real. Thanks, bye.